We return for round two at Panther Creek National, and we're hoping for a heck of a lot more than yesterday. Plain and simple, yesterday was well below what we would like it to be, but it's a very tough course. Have to keep that in mind. Yes, there are good scores out there, but it is not easy by any stretch. If you were off at all, it is no simple task. And today we move to the back tees, which I believe is playing over 8,000 yards. So this is going to be beastly. Medium winds out of the southwest, firm fairways, firm greens, and same green speed as yesterday. So a bit quicker, closer to that very fast side of things. Things are going to bounce, they're going to roll. It's going to bounce a little bit less than it did yesterday, but still lots of roll. And fairways are at an absolute premium. So I thank you all for being here. Greatly appreciate it. If you're watching over on YouTube, consider dropping a sub so you don't miss out on any more of these rounds. And let's get things going here. That should be right down center fairway. Might depend on how you actually land in the bunker. Like if you pitched it in, it would land deeper into the sand. I don't fully know. There are plug shots, so that obviously has to do with how you land into it. I'm sure there's some stuff that goes into it, but at the end of the day, I pretty much just look at whatever the lie percentage is and play it out of that. But yeah, as far as what affects it, I don't know what factors go in behind the scenes. Okay, so the question is where do we want to be on this approach shot? Do you put yourself in the bunker and leave the splash? Do you try and go to the right and leave yourself the uphill? I suppose if you're over here enough, there might be a straightish putt. I'm gonna kind of go at it. Hit that fast, though. So this is going to be tough. We're going to be off the green here. Those first two swings, just a little bit not where I'm wanting it to be. But being greenside for this is the most important thing. So we're going to have to play it. It's firm and fast, so I'm going to play this. I'm gonna play this a bit short, just out of safety. I overhit it. That's gone. Wow. Okay, it's longer than we wanted. That's the tough thing with the partial there. That's the really tough thing with the partial there. We get 98%. Definitely trying for less than that. Fairly straight, but it's what does this little bit of break do coming up to the hole? Okay, good read. Good recovery. Lose that lie information. So in TrueSim, you can. So there's a HUD option which gives you elevation, which we have that. You have distance to the pin and elevation to the pin, and then you have your lie percentage. So that 100% right above the 240, that's your lie percentage. So if you're in the bunker, you'll still see that on TrueSim. What you lose in TrueSim is the ability to scout cam out like this, and you lose the grids. Okay, so the question here becomes, do we want the pitch shot or do we want the full wedge? I think with the headwind, this was a little bit more straightforward. I'm gonna go hybrid here, try and lay it up to the end of this fairway and go full wedge. We didn't take the risk on round 1 with the headwind. I shouldn't take the risk without the headwind now. So from here, now we have to try and close the gap back to the hole, which is taking off a little bit of yardage. And then if we're playing still a decent chunk of wind, maybe slow, but good line. Very good. Very, very good. Okay, so our read was right on there. Slow puts us a little bit to the right. It's an inch downhill with a bit of break in it. But I think we have to hit this with a little bit of pace. Just get it to center cup and in. All right, I say much better start. I think the start of last round went all right. We just got to keep it together for the full thing. All right, that drive's gonna work just fine. Still read those greens the way you read mines. We've had some pretty good putts on True Sim. I think we've made 1 or 2 in the 60+ foot range on True Sim before. I don't know. We have a lot of True Sim rounds up on the YouTube if you're ever interested. But my strength in True Sim is proximity to the hole. For sure. So we're losing a little bit of distance here. 6 iron. I'm going to give it just like a touch on the loft because I don't want to lose it too short. All right, come on. It's a good strike. 6 iron's been a tricky club for me. I've been leaving 6 irons quite a bit short of late. This one definitely better judged. Because I've been like lofting them too much because I know that 6 irons want to bounce and release. But it ends up being very, very easy to overdo that. All right. I know this round, because of the distance and everything, is going to be very tough. But I also know that if we can pull something miraculous out, all of a sudden, you know, not that we're putting ourselves back in any sort of conversation, but we can definitely sling ourselves back up the leaderboard quite a bit. Now, this is a very tricky hole because, yes, there's a little bit of backstop, but tailwind with a long iron, we can very much find ourselves on the other side of that. Hey, thank you, Jetski. How are you doing? So you almost want to be on the shelf and like pin high and just make a putt. As much as that pains me to say. So 5-iron is short. I think we have to take this. I think we have to take this. 4-iron, I feel like lands like pin high. I didn't like the way that felt. Oh, that could be a... Oh, no. Huh? I say, could be a miracle if it hit the green. Just come back down. Don't crest the ridge. Talk about a lucky bounce. Talk about a very lucky bounce. For that not to get too high up there. Now we're left with an 8-footer coming down here. Very subtle movement. Very subtle movement. Gotta be good to be lucky. I guess there's some truth to that, but it's definitely not 100% true. Okay, it's... If we overpower this, I guess is the question of, like, does that give us anything? Bound it down, and then we're still over 300 yards away. So yeah, I think we can just... I think we just play a stock shot here. I think you just play a stock shot. Because you can't make it there in 2. Now, this shot came out on the straight side, so bunker suddenly almost in play. Gas me up a bit. That's so unnatural for me to get gassed up. I think if we play... I think hybrid's the safe play. I want to make sure that we're down there a good way. I just don't want to hit the 3-wood and then somehow manage to go into the little creek here. Okay, so if we can hit a nice wedge into this somewhere in here and just kind of feed it down. So if we're playing, let's call this 8 miles an hour. It's going to play less than 8 yards, but we're already at like 109, less than 8 yards. Yeah, I think this could be good. Oh, pulled it a little bit left. It feeds left to right here, which was always in the game plan. I was trying to be a little bit more right. We're going to have to make a little bit of a bendy putt. Slightly downhill. Brakes at the start. How much is it breaking behind my feet? Yeah, it starts to get to something a little bit more. So we're going to go with the aggressive. I'm on full fill right now. Normally we're grid counting, but on the faster greens that has not worked for me. So I'm really trying to feel these out. I'm trying to pull the joystick back and kind of feel like what is the putt power feel like and try and envision it coming off of the putter there. So far so good. I think with this guy you almost take this angle and bounce it through the rough into the fairway. Just trying to keep it out of that right-hand side. So you've got to get it a few extra yards here, which I think naturally with the wind is going to get there. Like, I think to go right at the hole. I mean, what if this is like 10? $55. I hit it fast. Did not feel comfortable over that, and we swung at it anyway. Okay, it stays up though, so it's chippable. I just got to get a better grip on the controller. I felt like I lost my grip, and I did not like that. All right, let's just try and stop it. As much as I'd like to hold this one out, I think we have to be smart about it. So if I want to land this like here, let it bounce and dribble up, a little bit uphill, this lie, and then probably about another little bit from how we've shot shaped it. Pretty good. Pretty good. All right. Yeah, sometimes you can figure it out. Nice. Now we're in between clubs though. Now we're in between clubs because if I fully backspin this out to 226, I can't get 14 yards to climb up the hill. Hybrid, like I'm gonna land it here and then still roll it out the back. I would love it if I could play, like a 3-iron is probably like what you would be wanting here, because otherwise I have to do some sort of full shape. I could go for an overpower on the 4-iron. I still fear for that. Just because I have to hit a more difficult shot. But like this doesn't speak to me. There's nothing to stop it. So I think we are going to take the overpower on. How this is going to go, honestly couldn't tell you. It's on a decent line. If it's far enough right, it shouldn't go too far left. But if it's too far left, we're like all the way down. Yep. That close. I mean, you hit it. We hit it pretty much as good as you could. Just aimed it a little bit too far out there. It's okay. Yeah, like if it's that same shot to the right, we've got a really close look. But this honestly isn't too bad. It's a foot uphill. It moves a little bit the whole way. I left it a little bit low. Good pace, though. Alright, so the birdie train ends on 7, but 6 under through 6, even 6 under through 7. Very, very solid start. And this will get us right down the fairway. I mean, so long as we can continue to make approach shots stick close, like, I mean, that's ultimately what gives us our best results. Now, this is going to be uphill about a yard or two. 23. So we're in between here. I'm probably going to have to shot shape this gap wedge. Because with this sand wedge, we're not going to quite get to the ridge. And I think I don't know. I don't think I want to be trying to roll this down, because then you're getting momentum. I think you're wanting to stop a shot rather than extend a shot. Especially because if we're long, we at least then have an uphill putt. If we leave it short, got a big downhill, and it just continues to go downhill behind. So let's say this is around 137 without anything. 10-mile-an-hour wind on this sort of diagonal. Maybe is just past pin high. So I'm gonna try something here. Good distance, it's just a little bit right. I mean, that's exactly what we wanted, but now we get a left to right bender from 9 feet out. So just didn't quite get the wind and lie there. It kicked a bit more to the right on me. So little turn and a little bit more. All right, we're feeling these putts at the moment. We're feeling these putts at the moment because we've now doubled up our score from yesterday in 8 holes. The only thing that's concerning me right now is I know my hand position has shifted a little bit, and so some of these shots are coming back out a little bit on the straight side. So gonna have to keep an eye on it. I have to try and make sure that we don't let that get the best of us. All right, if this lands like 171, 9 yards of bounce and roll out. think if we just play some of this shape. Still a little bit to the right, but at least I know with this one that there is the chance of things going to the left from here. It still gets out to the right. So I don't know what's going on with that. I'm like a little bit off on my reads. Maybe I'm not accounting as much for the lie as I should be. So if I want to land you, what, in here? That's the right read. Just hung out a little bit more to the right, but really good distance control. All right, back 9. I think with this, we just give it full send here. Try and go for center fairway. Because full backspin, I guess it doesn't really take the bunkers out of play, per se. That was almost a really mean kick to the right, but it takes them out of play enough. You know, you're down landing by them as opposed to giving yourself more chance to bounce into them. 123 yards. We've got 11 miles an hour of diagonal wind here. If I get just a little bit of extra distance out of it and a little bit of roll, I think we'll be okay. There's not really too much that you need from the lob wedge here. Like, it should, for the most part, get out to the side and just kind of ride the wind. That was my fear of the 99%, so we'll see what this release looks like. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. It's always terrifying when it lands on the fringe, because if it's at all angled downhill or too firm, it can be really, really bad. Alright, only a slight turn here. It is downhill, and I know we're kind of playing this a little bit more aggressive, but that's just how I'm feeling these putts right now. Is a little more aggressive, take some of that breakout. It's a short enough putt that you can really get it rolling and not have too much concern. A little bit slow, but wind is playing off of that side, but we still may find the bunker now. We're going to find light rough. So not the bunker. You're 302 out. I guess there's a chance if you get a really good fairway lie that maybe you could overpower driver off the deck. Or something of that nature. I don't think here you have anything like that, so I think... I guess this does angle quite a bit, so... What is with this? So, like, you have to be back here to get anything flat enough. And that's still 190 out. So if we want to get down there... Now I wonder if you do try and just get it up to the bunker. Leave it 40. It's downhill behind, but at that point you're getting flops and such. What is 65% out of that? 30, 60, 90 is 70. That's 210. Somewhere back in here with driver off the deck out of that rough. I don't know, you could go for some sort of freak play and really try and overpower it. Why not? Why not? 47. A little bit fast. But we're pin high, so I don't know. It's definitely not the greatest. Bad input there to get the fast and be so far off. But we still give ourselves a chance. It is downhill behind, though, so I can't be as aggressive as I normally have been. So I think I kind of have to take my normal read and then adjust it from there, which is... Oh, man, okay. Piecing things together. $189, and then... I mean... I think we're probably landing a 7-iron in here. So, do you take... I think you take the 6-iron and just try and, like, use this backstop to bring it back down, yeah? I think that would be the way you have to go about it. All right, come on, ride the bull. When are the Flyers gonna win again? Like, win a game or win a championship? Those are two very different questions. Win a game? Hopefully soon. But definitely no guarantees, that's for certain. I don't know, to be fair, like, going into this season, I expected roughly this much. Not 0 wins, but, like, expectations were very low. Give you an eagle, Oxhead? I'm trying, man. An eagle would be pretty sweet. But we're 10 under through 12, so... I don't think I can be too disappointed overall. Can we clear this bunker? 276. Oh, that hung out way too far right. I also hit it too low. I'm trying to play like a little bit of a cut there. I just didn't think it would eat the wind like entirely. So now the play might be to try and use this backstop like to its fullest. 90% would be 80, would be like pin high. What if we go 180 on the 90? Oh, come on. That hung out so far to the right, but also we just got low rolled on it. Hey, not the worst thing though. Play it back here, have it do the little hop, skip, and in. Okay. I mean, when you find yourself off the fairway, it's always gonna be tough sledding. So I'm not surprised by that in the slightest. All right, I don't know, just sheer length, eagle is gonna be tough here, but it's a par 5, so we're gonna consider it an eagle opportunity nonetheless. 279 yards, 3-wood in. Can you stop it, though, is ultimately the question that we have to ask ourselves, and I don't know. Full off, full backspin on the 3-wood, 264. Wind is going to carry that a little bit further. I think that's ultimately, like, our best chance. Gosh darn it. How am I always that close? If that lands on the green, that's a completely different story. Literal inches from a very different result. But honestly, the putt doesn't look too bad from here, so it's like there just wasn't the turn back at the end. There just wasn't enough in that little bit. It just kind of was hold her up kind of situation. We'll take the bird, but man, definitely felt like we had a chance. Can't be mad about the birdie, but like, yeah, you definitely want those. Okay, what do they want from us here? 257-yard par 3 into wind. Everybody's favorite. If you hit driver punch, there's no way I'm getting it back there. Partial driver, I guess. Nope. Just eats straight through it. Not even close. So difficult, man. So difficult. 20 or are we gonna make it up onto the green? Wait, 18, 16. Oh no. That's gonna be short. Only almost killed 2 people? You know, I guess if you use it less and less though, you will almost only kill less people each time, right? That's the hope, I would think. I don't really want to try the partial flop here. So I'm hoping that this is enough. This is very scary to me, but yep. That's what I was afraid of, is that it wasn't gonna sit pretty. That's what I was afraid of. Downhill, like, I was thinking that maybe it's gonna kick into that side and, like, sit soft, but no, it took the big bounce. Ah, that's a shame. That's a darn shame. Underhit it, but that's okay. It just sucks, like, sucks to take a bogey like that. I just don't know what we would have done differently on the tee shot. I feel like I mean, we're obviously in between clubs, right? Like, that much is obvious. But what you're supposed to do with that, really uncertain. Ah. Letting that shot get the best of me, but maybe we get a lucky bounce. We do. Okay. Settle yourself back down. It's one shot, it's one hole. Can't let that dictate the rest of the tournament. So slight tailwind, slight downhill. I would think that this is how we're gonna stop it, and then we're playing 10. Let's see here. We want to be a little bit left, and then maybe fast is okay. I just don't understand, like, how no matter what I do, I'm always like, I'm either 5 yards right or I'm 5 yards left. Like, I either way underread it or way overread it. I can't seem to find the in-between for this thing. Quite unfortunate. Alright, there's a little bit of break through all of these. It's a little bit less on the last 2. Still break there, though. Is there fringe, or is it just straight to fairway? It looks like it's... Looks like it's straight to fairway. Shoot possess the full powers of its types. It's really just when it's the lie, the wind, and the shank are all the same direction. I like immensely struggle with that. Like, I cannot for the life of me. Cannot for the life of me get it. Oh, just over-aimed it. Little bit firm. Little bit firm. When everything works with the well, it's not. I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm playing it enough, and maybe that's just more of a subconscious issue than at that point. Because I feel like I aim lie plus, or like flat lie, you know, shank plus wind fine, but it's that lie when it comes into it. But I think some of that also stems from the fact that I don't think I truly know how much some of these lies play. Because it's a wedge, so like I think in my head it's not a lot, but there must be some sort of compounding factor that is there as well. So like there, that's because of the slow. That was one of the meanest bounces. It's a lob wedge with loft. Doesn't matter. Yeah, hit the red slope scud, but yeah, that was kind of nasty. I didn't think it was just gonna full roll like that. I thought I could get it to, I thought I was gonna spin back more than that. It came out a little bit lower. I took some of the spin off because I was afraid of spinning all the way off the green. But I also don't think that taking just like a regular chip shot there was gonna cut it, so. Pretty severe miss, and like because of that, it's gonna be very, very difficult to save here. So this has the break going through the early bits. Continues to break, tiny little movements at the end. That's a huge par save. That's a huge par save. Can't afford to be given any more back. All right, a little bit slow, but hopefully the draw here is enough to keep it out of the bunker. I don't know that it is, though. Soft landing, please. Not only do we keep it out of the bunker, we keep it out of the light rough, so... It's about as good as that's gonna get. Now, there's a little bit of backstop. A lot of wind, though. A lot of wind and a lot playing sideways here. So I'm going to play this pretty far out, but... We're going to play it out towards there, but the uphill and everything, I feel like we're going to land short. But if I go up a club, like I'm too far. 240? I think we're gonna have to play this in a way we overpower the 4-iron. So I go up. Let's say this plays 15. That's 225, 222, 221. Can full loft it. Okay. So maybe we learned a little bit there on that last shot about lie and wind. Like that was a pretty good aim for what we've been struggling with all of that moving in the same direction. And 11 under there with a bogey on the card. You know, we're looking at scores that are similar to the top 10 for this round. So coming off of the backs of what was a really rough round 1, now all of a sudden we're T23 on PlayStation and 4 strokes off of T8. So really bad first round, but then coming back in the second round here to kind of just flip-flopping scores. I feel like mid-pack is shooting closer to that 7 under this round. So now we're in a spot where, okay, if we put together 2 really nice rounds to close out, maybe we can launch ourselves back up through moving day in the end into a much better finish. So I'll absolutely take that. Unfortunate shots a couple of times there. But if we can start to piece together, you know, lie, shank, and wind all in one direction, if those start coming together and we start nailing those shots, we can definitely do some serious damage.